Hello there, and welcome back to the neighborhood. Today, we're finally getting an update on the Fosi Audio ZA3 with Sparkos SS33602 dual discrete op amp swapped in. This one took me a bit of time because everyone in the comments of my previous videos seemed to have an opinion about just how to set up the ZA3 to get the most out of it. So I just wanted to make sure that I tested everyone's recommendations to be able to deliver everyone the most accurate sound commentary about this unit here on YouTube. So now that I've done that, let's get into it. So before we jump into the sound commentary, we'll have to talk about some further insights regarding the setup of the ZA3 that I observed since my previous video. First and foremost, I just can't really recommend the ZA3 as a stereo amplifier or as an unbalanced amplifier. Even when powering easier to drive speakers with limited resolve, the ZA3 was just significantly less eloquent and less expressive from its RCA inputs compared to its balanced inputs. So if you're currently using the ZA3 either unbalanced or as a stereo amplifier, I'd suggest changing your setup to 2 ZA3 monoblocks in a balanced configuration as soon as possible. That is, presuming you'd like to get the most out of this amplifier. I came to this conclusion because in the end, no matter the system alteration that I made, unbalanced performance was just never as good as balanced performance was. And stereo configuration always just felt a bit weaker after listening to the ZA3 as monoblocks. Furthermore, for your additional edification, swapping in the Sparkos Op Amps into the balanced op amp position of the ZA3 circuit board appeared to have no sonic impact upon the unbalanced inputs. Yet, with Sparkos installed in the ZA3's balanced op amp and right channel positions of the circuit boards of 2 ZA3's random monoblock operation, the ZA3 made significant strides. Treble performance became better extended, and bass became punchier and more well controlled. Each note the ZA3 produced took on a bit more definition and rounded quality, and its overall presentation became less dull and more revealing. The ZA3 in general also gained a lot more dimension to its global sound, and vocals became larger, a bit more forward in the mix, and better isolated. Presence levels across the frequency response improved significantly, and both voices and instrumentation were notably more distinct from one another, with enhanced separation. I will also give a shout out to some of those that commented on my prior videos and suggested that I check out Virtual HiFi's video on the ZA3 where he removed all other op amps in the ZA3 circuit board aside from the right channel and the balanced input. Like his findings, I observed sonic improvements from doing this, and I would suggest that you give it a shot too if you're running 2 ZA3 monoblocks in your system. And for those that are wondering, there seemed to be no benefit from using the Sparkos op amps in both the right and left channel positions of the ZA3 circuit board in monoblock operation, although decibel meter testing did show a consistent 1 dB reduction in loudness that was observable and audible to my ears. Revealing systems such as those in my home that include Wolf-on-Lagna speakers also displayed that the ZA3 still ultimately lacked some treble extension, and was still a bit dull, and higher timbred vocals could still become a bit too gritty in the upper mid-range for my liking, at least on occasion, depending upon the track. Furthermore, I'd also note that higher tiered DACs like the Gold Note DS10 Plus and Kodas Audio Digitali 2000 also kind of exposed the limitations of the ZA3, as the ZA3 performed much better with less resolving DACs. DACs whose more limited detail covered up some of the ZA3's inadequacies, including those that were notably audible within the ZA3's frequency response. So if one is going to use the ZA3 in some type of high-end audiophile system, I think that removing the unnecessary op amps and upgrading the remaining op amps to something like the Sparkos SS33602 is basically required. If you can't afford these upgrades right away, I totally understand. You can make do for now, but you can also upgrade in stages. For example, you could start off with 2 3602s for the right and left stereo operation, and then pick up a second ZA3 to run them as monoblocks. You could then upgrade to a balanced DAC and or preamplifier and replace the op amps for the balanced section of the ZA3 circuit board to get even more out of it. In general, without Sparkos op amps, the ZA3 is certainly less detailed, less lively, and more compressed sounding. Let me know about your experience with Sparkos op amps or other op amps with the ZA3 in the comment section below. And before you go, I would appreciate your support by making sure that you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It's really vital to helping this channel to continue to deliver high quality and unbiased reviews to you here on YouTube. You can also keep up with the channel by following me on Instagram, X, Patreon, www.intuitreviews.com, or Discord. If you're interested, links for all online locations will be provided in the description below, so make sure you check them out. And with that, I'm out for now.